Welcome everyone to this video of chapter 5 lines and angles. We're going to take a look at chapter 5.3 and I'll immediately start with this introductory exercise. You can measure angles with a protractor. We also call it a set square, right? Protractor is also used, the geodriehoek. The protractor is the circle drawn on your protractor. Okay, so now they're going to say that this thing here is also called the protractor. In Nederlands noemen we soms wel als gradenboog. We're going to use this chapter actually to measure angles. There is a mark with two numbers every 10 degrees, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, etc. There is a number marked below the number 20. Which number? Well, hopefully you also have your protractor in front of you right now, then you can check it with yours. If you take a look at this one right here, you will see that the other number that is right there is the number 160. And LB, they're going to ask you to do that as well for 50 and 80 and 120. So let's just take a look. There's 50 here. It says 130. Do mind that it says 50 here as well with 130, right? So there are two possible places on the protractor where you can find that. 80, for example, is right here with 100, but also 80 is right here with 100. And 120 is right here with 60. And 120 is right here with 60. So yeah, 130, 160 are the numbers accompanying 50, 80, and 120. You can find the other number marked below 40 without looking at your protractor. How does that work? Well, some of you might have already seen the pattern here, that if I add 20 to 160, it gives 180. And 50 and 130 gives me 180, and 80 plus 100 gives me 180, and maybe no surprise right now, but 120 plus 60 gives me 180. So using that trick, I can also figure out which other number is with 40. It's a number that together added up will give 180. So the other number is 140. Because each time the numbers do add up to 180. That leaves me with one odd one out. That's what they discuss at D. There is one mark with only one number. Why is that? Yeah, it says smack down the middle. It says 90. And it has to do with the fact that what other number should I otherwise put there? Yeah, also 90. Because 90 plus 90 is 180. And they find that redundant, so instead they just put it there once. Okay, that's exercise 25, which is actually homework as well. The theory itself is about measuring angles, and I will go by the steps. I will go through the steps one by one, and then I will go to Active Inspire to actually show you how this works, because this is not really doable without me actually being able to show you a protractor rotating and etc. But let's take a look at what they want to do. Let's say we want to measure an angle, for example angle A right here, that's in between those two legs that form the angle. What you should do at step 1, they say put your protractor on angle A in such a way that the line that says 0 is on that vertex. And then the long side of your protractor is laid alongside an arm of angle A. I call it sometimes aligning as well, uitlijnen. So it should be clear that not only is the 0 here, but your protractor also follows the same direction as that leg. Okay. So that's step 1. Then step 2 is now reading of where this line intersects your protractor here, right? So yeah, it's difficult maybe to see because I cannot zoom in that much, but if I would read it off here, it gives me two values, right? Because there are two numbers here, 53 and 127 degrees. However, the angle cannot be two values at once, so we have to figure out which one is correct. And there's where step 3 comes in, and that's actually a very important one. You have to check whether this angle that I'm now measuring is acute, scherp, or obtuse, stomp. Remember that I have discussed with you guys that an acute angle, een scherpe hoek, is smaller than 90 degrees. And here it's very clear that angle A actually is an acute angle, which means that the angle should be smaller than 90 degrees, which only leaves me with 53. 127 is not a viable answer here. So since angle A is acute, angle A is equal to 53 degrees. Okay? And here they give another example. Take a look at this at the book, of course. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go out of this program and for a second go to Active Inspire, where I've copied this theory right here, but now I'm actually able to get out the Protractor and show you by moving, etc. So let's say I want to measure this angle here. So we have angle B, and I want to measure how many degrees this angle here is. So step A is taking your protracted triangle. I'll make it a bit bigger so you guys can see it a bit more clearly. You guys cannot do that, of course, with your protractor. The first thing you should do is take your protractor and put the 0 on B, like this. But remember, this is not the only thing you should do. You should also put the sides, align them with one of the legs. So you have to now rotate it in such a way, like this, that now your protractor has the same direction as this line. Otherwise, of course, you won't get the correct answer. And you now see that this other line here intersects my protractor, and here, if I read carefully, it's going to be either, well, this is the 45 grade, right? So it's either going to be 47 degrees, or it's going to be 133 degrees, right? 130 and then 3 degrees over. And only one of those two can be correct. And again, what you then should do is, let me delete this protractor, is check whether this angle here is acute or obtuse. Is it a scherpe hoek or is it a stompe hoek? And again, it's very clear here that this angle, what I want to measure, is an acute angle. And acute angles are always smaller than 90 degrees. So here that means that this one is incorrect, and that's the correct answer. So how I would notate this is angle B equals 47 degrees. Okay. So yeah, that's what you have to do. In the other exercise videos I will make, I will take a look at 27 as well, and I will take a look at 33. So if you find this difficult, you can refer to those videos. If I'm going back to my PowerPoint, you also see that that is what we stop at. Do mind, there are no real new glossary words here, except the one that is briefly mentioned in exercise 33, reflex angle. It's not a red bold word, but yeah, it's a difficult word nonetheless, right? It's defined in Dutch, translated to overstrekte hoek. That's an angle that's between 180 and 360. So with the reflex angle here, they mean we want to find out what this angle is right now, instead of the one that is right here. Okay, I'll stop at the glossary list here, which is only a reflex angle. You can now start with the exercise of 5.3, or if you want to take a look at one of the explanation videos of the homework exercises. Good luck!